All right, let's dive into this germinated brown rice stuff. The research you sent over is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's such a simple thing, but it can really turn like regular rice into something uh, way more powerful.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in, this nutritional powerhouse idea.
Exactly.
So we're looking at this 2011 review article, right, by
Cool.
Patil and Khan.
Yep.
Germinated brown rice as a value-added rice product. A review. It's pretty dense. But we're going to break it down. So what exactly is germinated brown rice? Is it really just sprouted brown rice, or is there, like, more to it?
Well, it is, yeah, it is brown rice that's sprouted, but it's kind of like, brown rice has all this potential just locked away.
Hmm.
And germination is like the key to unlocking it all.
Okay, I like that analogy,
Yeah.
unlocking the potential. So what's actually happening during this unlocking process?
It's surprisingly simple. Basically, you soak brown rice in warm water, like 35, 40 degrees Celsius, for about 10 to 12 hours. And that kind of kickstarts the germination process. You'll even see little sprouts after like a day or so.
So you're literally waking the rice up, like giving it a little spa day before it becomes dinner.
Haha, exactly. And one of the biggest changes that happens during germination is that it reduces phytic acid.
Phytic acid. Okay, now refresh my memory on why that matters.
Right, so phytic acid is found in greens, and it can kind of act like a nutrient blocker, like it binds to certain minerals, and that makes it harder for our bodies to, actually absorb them.
So by reducing the phytic acid, we're essentially like freeing up all those nutrients to do their thing.
Exactly. And that's just one of the things that happen when you germinate brown rice. We also see this increase in certain nutrients.
Okay, that's where the powerhouse part really comes in. What kind of nutrients are we talking about here? Like, what gets a boost?
Well, there's a bunch, but one of the most notable ones is GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid.
Oh yeah, GABA.
Sure.
Like everywhere right now. I feel like every health food store is pushing GABA supplements, so GBR is a good source of that.
It is. GBR can have up to 10 times more GABA than white rice, and even twice as much as regular brown rice.
Wow, 10 times. Okay, I'm listening. What else gets boosted?
Another one is magnesium. It's super important for like so many bodily functions, like muscle and nerve function, blood sugar control, even sleep.
So if I choose GBR over regular brown rice, I'm basically getting a nice little dose of magnesium, along with all the other benefits.
Yep, that's right. And then there's fiber, of course. GBR is a really good source of dietary fiber, and that's, essential for digestion, can help regulate blood sugar levels too.
Fiber's good. My doctor's always on me about getting more fiber. Okay, so we've got GABA, magnesium, fiber. I'm sure there's more. But before we just lift off all the nutrients, I want to know, like, what does this all mean? How do these nutrient boosts actually translate into real-life benefits?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's talk about what this enhanced nutrition actually does for us.
So we got all these nutrients.
Right.
But, like, what do they actually do? How do they make our lives better?
Right. Well, let's start with GABA, since you were so interested in that tenfold increase.
Yeah, 10 times the GABA, come on.
Right. So research has shown that GABA can have this like calming effect on the nervous system, and that can lead to better sleep. Like imagine you have some GBR for dinner, and then you just fall asleep easily.
That sounds amazing. Are there actual studies on that, though, like GABA and sleep?
Yeah, there have been studies like where people ate GABA-rich foods or took supplements and they said their sleep improved. But of course, we always need more research, to really figure out the optimal dosage and all that.
Yeah, I get it. Not a magic bullet. But still, I'm always looking for ways to sleep better. What about those other benefits? You mentioned magnesium.
Oh, yeah. Magnesium, that also gets a boost in GBR. And guess what? It's also linked to better sleep. Helps relax muscles, calm the nervous system. It's actually sometimes called the relaxation mineral.
Really? Relaxation mineral, huh? So GBR is like a double whammy for sleep.
Yeah.
GABA and magnesium working their magic.
Mm.
It seems like a lot of these benefits have to do with, like, relaxation and stress reduction. Is that a theme here?
Definitely. You know how we talked about phytic acid blocking nutrients?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that reducing that phytic acid might actually have more benefits than we thought.
How so?
Well, some researchers think that phytic acid can mess with the absorption of certain minerals that are actually really important for dealing with stress, like zinc and magnesium.
Ah, interesting. So it's not just about adding good stuff. It's also about making sure our bodies can actually absorb it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal. And speaking of stress, GBR is also a good source of antioxidants, those things that fight off free
You
radicals.
like the oxidants?
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Those are good.
Yeah.
Help protect us from all the, like, environmental damage.
Exactly. And GBR has several different types like vitamin E, ferulic acid and oryzanol.
Ferulic acid, what that one do?
Ferulic acid has been studied quite a bit, and it might actually protect us against oxidative stress.
Okay, wow. Better sleep, less stress, antioxidants. Is there anything GBR can't do?
Haha. Well, like I said, it's not a miracle cure, but it's definitely impressive. And there's even more. Researchers are also looking at its potential for, heart health, blood sugar regulation, and even cognitive function.
Okay, cognitive function. You're saying GBR could make me smarter.
Uh-huh. Not quite. But there's some evidence that some of the nutrients in GBR, like magnesium and certain B vitamins, play a role in brain health. But, more research is needed.
Well, that's definitely something to think about. So we've got sleep, stress, antioxidants, brain power. I'm already feeling healthier. But I have a very important question. How do people actually eat this stuff?
That's a great question. Let's get into the real world applications. Like, how is GBR making its way from the lab to our plates?
All right, so I'm sold on the benefits, but now I got to know, how do people actually eat this stuff?
Well, one of the easiest ways is, just substituting it. Like any recipe where you'd use regular brown rice, just use GBR instead. It's got a slightly different texture, a little chewier, maybe, and kind of a nutty flavor.
Interesting. So I could use it in stir fries, salads, whatever.
Exactly. And if you're, more adventurous in the kitchen, you can find tons of recipes specifically for GBR, like GBR porridge for breakfast, GBR veggie burgers.
Ooh, veggie burgers. Now you're talking. But honestly, I'm not the best cook. Are there any like pre-made GBR products, like stuff I can just buy?
Definitely. Actually, the research talked about how popular GBR is in Japan, and they have like all sorts of GBR products, rice balls, crackers, even noodles.
GBR noodles. Wow. Okay, I'm kind of curious to try those. I wonder if we'll start seeing that stuff here soon.
I think it's only a matter of time. The research even mentions some projects trying to add GBR to wheat bread. Imagine that. A sandwich with extra GABA and magnesium.
That would be pretty awesome. But, beyond just the convenience factor, I'm kind of thinking bigger picture here. Like, what if GBR actually became, mainstream? The research touched on some potential impacts, right? Like social and economic stuff.
Yeah, it did. And I think this is where it gets really interesting. GBR could be a game changer for food security,
Yeah.
especially in places where rice is already a staple food. To be able to provide like a more nutritious version of something people already rely on, that's huge.
That's a really good point. And not just for nutrition either. The research talked about how GBR production could actually create jobs, help out local economies.
Absolutely. It could be a way to support sustainable agriculture too. It's not just about like choosing a healthier food. It's about like a whole system.
That's what I love about this stuff. It starts with this simple question about GBR, but it leads to all these bigger ideas.
It's pretty amazing, right? That something as simple as sprouting rice could have like a ripple effect.
So what's the main takeaway here? What should people do with all this GBR info?
I think the best thing is to just try it out, Experiment. Make some GBR at home. Try out those recipes. See if you can find any GBR products.
Yeah, and maybe even do some more research on your own. We only scratched the surface here.
Exactly. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and be open to what this, tiny but mighty grain can do.
Love it. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive on germinated brown rice. I got to say, I'm pretty impressed.
Thanks for having me. It was great chatting about this stuff.
And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring.